One dominates American highways, the other rules the global streets, but only one truly reigns supreme. We're diving into performance, history, and raw value to finally settle it. Honda versus Harley. Who really builds the better bike? Coming up, reliability numbers that'll shock Harley fanboys, maintenance costs that make grown men weep, and the one metric where Honda absolutely destroys the competition. The heritage factor? Let's start with history because every rider thinks they know this story. Harley-Davidson, born in Milwaukee, 1903. William Harley and Arthur Davidson built their first bike in a shed smaller than most garages today. By 1907, they were making police bikes. The V-twin engine drops in 1909. That groundbreaking design that provided the torque and power riders craved. World War II made them legends. Harley supplied 90,000 motorcycles to Allied forces. The WLA became the backbone of military transport. After the war, returning soldiers wanted that same freedom on American roads. The 1950s brought the bad boy biker image. Marlon Brando, the wild one. Harley didn't just make motorcycles, they created a culture. Sturgis rallies, biker brotherhood. That potato-potato exhaust note became the sound of rebellion. That's 120 years of American iron. Real heritage. But Honda's story, just as impressive, maybe more so. Post-war Japan is in ruins. Soichiro Honda starts with motorized bicycles because that's all people can afford. But this guy had vision that would change everything. The Dream D-Type drops in 1949. Honda's first real motorcycle. Simple, reliable, affordable. Everything Japan needed to rebuild. By 1959, Honda launches the "You Meet the Nicest People on a Honda" campaign. Genius marketing that made motorcycles mainstream instead of just for rebels. Suddenly, doctors and teachers were riding Hondas. Then, 1969 happens. The CB750 lands like a meteor. First mass-produced four-cylinder bike, overhead cam, electric start, front disc brake. Features that were unheard of on mass-produced bikes. While Harley was still using kickstarts and drum brakes, Honda just made them obsolete overnight. Here's where it gets interesting. Both brands shaped motorcycling, but differently. Harley created the culture, the sound, the lifestyle. That's undeniable heritage. Walk into any bar in America wearing Harley gear, and you're instantly part of the family. Honda created the technology, racing dominance, Isle of Man victories, 6-time MotoGP constructor champions. The Super Cub, over 100 million sold, making it the most successful motor vehicle in history. More than the Model T, more than the Beetle. Harley built the dream. Honda built the future. Both legacies matter. But which approach makes better motorcycles today? That's where things get complicated. Heritage isn't just about being old, it's about what you do with that experience. Build quality reality. Check. Time for some uncomfortable truths about build quality. Harley's reputation? If it ain't leaking, it ain't a real Harley. Harley riders laugh about this. They wear oil stains like badges of honor. But here's the thing, that's not charm. That's engineering failure. The reasons run deep. Harley's air-cooled engines run hotter than liquid-cooled designs. Heat cycles cause metal expansion and contraction. Gaskets fail, seals deteriorate. Parts shake loose from constant vibration. That single-pin crankshaft design creates massive vibration. Sure, it sounds distinctive, but it literally shakes the bike apart over time. Bolts loosen, components wear prematurely. Maintenance becomes a lifestyle. Honda took a different path. Modern engineering. Liquid cooling keeps temperature stable. Precise manufacturing tolerances. Quality control that would make German engineers jealous. Honda engines routinely hit 100,000 miles without major issues. There are Goldwings with 300,000 miles still running strong. Africa Twins crossing continents without missing a beat. Harley owners consider 50,000 miles high mileage. Not because the engines can't go further, but because the maintenance costs become astronomical. Consumer Reports consistently ranks Honda in the top 3 for reliability. Yamaha and Suzuki usually join them. Harley? They don't even crack the top 5. Here's a real-world example. The Honda CB750 platform ran for nearly 40 years. Same basic design, constantly refined. Bulletproof reliability became its signature. Harley's twin cam era? Cam chain tensioner failures. Oil pump issues, compensator problems. They quietly discontinued it in 2017 and pretended nothing happened. The numbers don't lie. Honda builds machines, Harley builds experiences. But when you're 500 miles from home, which one do you want under you? Performance numbers don't lie. Let's talk power, because this is where it gets really interesting. Harley's biggest bagger, the Road Glide Limited, makes 114 horsepower from its Milwaukee 8-114 engine. Sounds impressive until you realize it weighs 900 pounds wet. That's 0.12 horsepower per pound. Honda's Africa Twin, 101 horsepower from its 1,084 cubic centimeter parallel twin, weighing just 500 pounds. That's 0.20 horsepower per pound, nearly double the power-to-weight ratio. But raw numbers only tell half the story. Honda's parallel twin delivers power smoothly from 2,000 RPM, linear torque curve, predictable power delivery, no surprises. You can lug it through city traffic or stretch its legs on the highway. Harley's V-twin? All that torque hits like a sledgehammer at 3,000 RPM, thrilling for about 5 minutes, exhausting for everything else. The power delivery is lumpy, uneven. You're constantly managing the throttle and handling. This is where physics becomes brutal for Harley. That 900-pound Road Glide has a wheelbase longer than some cars, ground clearance measured in millimeters, lean angles that scrape pegs before you're really trying. Honda's Africa Twin? Balanced chassis, 9.4 inches of ground clearance. Suspension travel that soaks up everything from potholes to boulders. It carves corners like it's reading your mind. Top speed, the Africa Twin will do 125 miles per hour all day. The Road Glide starts getting sketchy around 100. Fuel economy, Honda delivers 50+ miles per gallon. Harley struggles to crack 40. Performance isn't just about straight-line speed, it's about usability, versatility, real-world capability. Honda wins that battle every single time. The maintenance money pit. Here's where Harley riders start sweating because the numbers are brutal. Honda oil change, $40 in parts, every 8,000 miles. Takes 20 minutes in your garage. Harley oil change, $120 in parts, every 5,000 miles. Takes an hour because you're draining 3 separate reservoirs. Engine, transmission, and primary. That's just the beginning of your financial nightmare. Harley's twin cam chain tensioners? Made of plastic. They fail around 20,000 miles, spewing metal shavings through your engine like confetti at a funeral. Repair cost? $2,000 minimum. Honda's cam chain tensioners? Automatic hydraulic units that last the life of the engine. No maintenance required. Valve adjustments tell the whole story. Honda. Every 16,000 miles. Takes 2 hours. Costs $200. Harley. Every 10,000 miles. Takes 6 hours because you're pulling half the bike apart. Costs $800. Air filter replacement? Honda. $15 part, 5-minute job. Harley. $45 part, 30 minutes because it's buried under plastic and chrome. Spark plugs? Honda. $8 each. Accessible with basic tools. Harley, $12 each, and you need to remove the fuel tank to reach the rear cylinder. Parts availability is another nightmare. Honda parts are everywhere. AutoZone carries basic maintenance items. Amazon delivers overnight. Cheap, available, standardized. Harley parts? Premium pricing for basic components. Want a simple gasket? That'll be $40, please. Need it fast? Add $20 for expedited shipping. The math is absolutely brutal. Over 50,000 miles, Honda ownership costs about $3,000 in scheduled maintenance. Harley, try $8,000 minimum, and that's assuming nothing breaks. When things do break, and they will, Honda repairs are straightforward. Parts are cheap, any mechanic can work on them. Harley repairs require specialized knowledge, expensive tools, and dealer markup that'll make you weep. Resale value myths. Harleys hold their value better. That's what dealers tell you. Here's what the numbers actually show, and it's not pretty for Milwaukee. A 5-year-old Honda Africa Twin retains about 65% of its original value. Clean examples sell within weeks. Buyers know what they're getting: reliability, capability, and reasonable ownership costs. A 5-year-old Harley Street Glide? About 55% retention if you're lucky, and they sit on lots for months. Why? Because smart buyers know the maintenance costs. They know the reliability issues. They know what they're signing up for. Here's the dirty secret. Harley's resale advantage only applies to specific models in specific conditions. A pristine, low-mileage Sportster from 2019? Yeah, it'll hold value reasonably well, but that touring bike with 40,000 miles and a maintenance history thicker than a phone book? Good luck moving it. The used market tells the real story. Search Cycle Trader right now. You'll find pages of Harleys sitting unsold, dealers cutting prices, private sellers getting desperate. Meanwhile, clean Honda adventure bikes and sport tours move fast. Buyers trust the brand. They know reliability translates to lower total cost of ownership. Sure, vintage Harleys from the 70s are worth money, but that's collector value, not transportation value. Those bikes are garage queens, not daily riders. Modern Harleys depreciate like rocks, especially the touring models loaded with electronics that fail after warranty expires. Honda's reputation for reliability actually helps resale. A 10-year-old Goldwing with 80,000 miles still commands respect and reasonable money because everyone knows it's just getting broken in. Real-world reliability. Let's get specific about reliability because this is where the rubber meets the road. Honda's Africa Twin has been dominating the Dakar Rally for years. Same basic engine architecture that's in the street bike. 5,000 miles of sand, rocks, heat, and absolute punishment. When Honda trusts this motor to survive the world's toughest race, that tells you everything about durability. The CB750 platform ran for nearly 40 years, millions of units sold. The same basic design, constantly refined, proved bulletproof across decades and continents. Honda's Goldwing? There are examples with over 500,000 miles. Still running, still touring, still reliable as sunrise. Now let's talk Harley's track record. The Pan America launched in 2021 as Harley's answer to the Africa Twin, already seeing adaptive ride height failures at 10,000 miles. Repair costs exceeding $2,000. Electronic gremlins. Overheating issues? The twin cam era? Don't get me started. Cam chain tensioner failures that grenaded engines. Oil pump problems that starved bearings. Compensator issues that destroyed primary drives. Harley quietly discontinued the twin cam in 2017 and replaced it with the Milwaukee 8. Better, sure, but still carrying forward decades of questionable engineering decisions. Here's a real-world test. Go to any motorcycle forum. Search for reliability issues. Count the Honda threads versus Harley threads. The ratio is about 1 to 10. Honda builds engines to run 100,000 miles without drama. Harley builds engines to sound good for 30,000 miles. That's not opinion. That's documented reality from millions of riders worldwide. Technology gap. This one's embarrassing for Harley, and it's getting worse every year. Honda's been using fuel injection since the 1980s. Sophisticated systems that adapt to altitude, temperature, and riding conditions. Harley? They finally ditched carburetors in 2007, 20 years behind the curve. Honda's DCT automatic transmission is revolutionary. 2 separate clutches, one for odd gears, one for even. Shifts faster than any human can manage manually. Seamless, reliable. Available across multiple model lines. Harley's automatic? Clunky. Slow. Feels like an afterthought bolted onto an engine that wasn't designed for it. Traction control and ABS systems? Hondas are invisible until you need them. Then they save your life without drama or intrusion. Harley's electronics? Glitchy. Intrusive. Often more hindrance than help. Riders regularly disable them just to get predictable performance. The gap isn't closing, it's widening. While Honda develops electric bikes, advanced rider aids, and next-generation powertrains, Harley's still trying to figure out fuel injection. Honda's latest Africa Twin has 6-axis IMU, multiple riding modes, cornering ABS, and traction control that works seamlessly off-road. It's like having a professional rider's reflexes built into the bike. Harley's Pan America? The electronics are so intrusive and unreliable that experienced riders turn everything off and ride it like a 1970s bike. That's not progress, that's regression with a digital display. Global perspective. Here's something American riders don't consider. The rest of the world doesn't care about your Harley. Honda is the largest motorcycle manufacturer on Earth. They sell bikes in 150 countries, from 125cc commuters in Vietnam to 1800cc Goldwings in Germany. That global scale means massive R&D budgets, shared technology across platforms, economies of scale that drive down costs and drive up quality. Harley? Primarily an American brand with limited global appeal, smaller volumes, higher costs, less innovation. Think about what that means for engineering. Honda's designs get tested in every climate and condition imaginable. Desert heat in Australia, monsoon rains in Thailand, mountain passes in the Alps. City traffic in Tokyo. Harley's engineering is optimized for American highways and weekend rides. That's it. Which approach produces better motorcycles? The numbers speak for themselves. Honda sells over 20 million motorcycles annually worldwide. Harley struggles to move 200,000 units, mostly in North America. Global riders vote with their wallets. They choose reliability, efficiency, and value over heritage and sound. Value proposition. Let's talk money, because this is where Honda absolutely destroys Harley. Honda Rebel 500, $6,000, $499 new. Gets you modern fuel injection, ABS LED lighting, and Honda's legendary reliability. It'll run 100,000 miles with basic maintenance. Harley Iron 883, $9,999 new. Gets you 1980s technology, a maintenance schedule that'll bankrupt you, and the privilege of explaining to your friends why your bike won't start. Honda Africa Twin, $14,399 new. World-class adventure bike, proven reliability, global parts network, technology that actually works. Harley Pan America, $17,319 new. Unproven platform, limited dealer network, electronics that fail in the rain. The value gap is staggering and getting worse. Honda gives you more bike for less money, better technology, lower ownership costs, higher reliability. Harley charges premium prices for outdated technology and questionable reliability, but it goes deeper than purchase price. Total cost of ownership over 5 years, Honda wins by $5,000 or more. Insurance costs, Honda's lower. Fuel costs, Honda's better. Maintenance, no contest. You can buy a Honda, ride it for 50,000 miles, and sell it for reasonable money. Try that with a Harley, and you'll be explaining oil leaks and electrical gremlins to every potential buyer. That glowing red thing on your screen? Yeah, that's the subscribe button. Hit it if you want more truth bombs about motorcycle reality. The final verdict. Here's the truth most riders won't admit, and it's going to hurt some feelings. If you want a motorcycle that starts every morning, runs for 100,000 miles, and won't bankrupt you with maintenance, Honda wins. No contest. If you want heritage, sound, and the ability to customize every bolt, Harley has its place. But better motorcycle? That's about engineering, reliability, value, performance. Honda builds motorcycles. Harley builds lifestyle accessories that happen to have engines. Honda's CB750 changed motorcycling forever. The Africa Twin dominates adventure riding. The Goldwing defines luxury touring. The Super Cub is the most successful motor vehicle in human history. Harley's greatest achievement? Marketing. They convinced riders that unreliability equals character. Look, I get it. Harleys have soul. That V-twin rumble hits different. The chrome catches light like nothing else. Honda might not stir emotions like Harley, but they'll get you there and back without drama. They'll start every morning. They'll run for decades with basic maintenance. In the end, that's what makes a better motorcycle. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Most Harley riders know this. They're not buying transportation, they're buying identity. And that's fine. But don't pretend you're riding the better motorcycle, you're riding the louder one. The choice reveals everything about your priorities. Do you want a machine that serves you, or do you want to serve the machine? Honda delivers reliability every time. Harley promises character. Still got fuel in the tank? Click the next video right here. The choice is yours. Heritage or reliability, emotion or engineering, Harley or Honda. But now you know the facts.